We got that 2025 Subaru that we're working on. Here's the progress we've made so far. Remember, the strut was busted up, it was ripped down here. It ripped the metal out, and so we put a new strut in. Actually, it's a used strut that we got off eBay. And then, of course, we ordered our new bolts from Subaru, the strut bolts that we put in here, along with new nuts. Put those in, torque those down to spec. Strut pretty easy to put in, just 3 bolts on the top up there, and then that mounts onto your steering knuckle. And that steering knuckle, if you remember, was busted right in there, the old one. So we put a new knuckle, a whole new hub on there with new bearing in that hub. We straightened out our tie rod end right here, and then of course we'll do a front end alignment after everything's together on this. But these, that's basically the only adjustment you can do is the toe in and toe out, which is done right here. You loosen that nut, and then you can adjust this in and out to get the proper toe in on these vehicles. You know, there's the tie rod end. There's our new ball joint that we put in here, and then lower control arm, our axle that we threw in there. But here's looking inside. There's our new axle that we put in. You saw that sitting on my trailer, but there's the new axle that we installed, and then put everything back together on that. Here's also our new speed sensor wire that's been all put in and then installed. There's the nut that installs the speed sensor. So we have the front end all together on this, and it's drivable. Like I said, basically just needs a toe-in adjustment on the front end alignment, because these from the factory, these are set. You cannot adjust the caster and camber. Once you put these bolts in, they lock in place, and then you torque them down. There's no adjustment. There's no other adjustment you could make. And as long as your frame rails are straight, which these are perfect, nothing got hit in the accident. Everything is nice and clean, nice and straight. The inner fender support here, it comes across there, and that supports, of course, the front end. So there's the inside of that wheel well with the inner fender removed, and then our rotor, and waiting to put our wheel back on before we go any farther. Been working on some of the body work over there on the door. The door got dented up a bit down through here, but a lot of small dents, and we'll show you a little bit of that when we're working on the body work. But we're just getting it roughed in now to the body, to the door, and we'll be finishing that up here today. See you later.